It's time for Afternoon Tea, presented by the Hampton Roads Tea Party.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, in the home of the brave?
You are welcome to be a part of Afternoon Tea by calling 757-622-9256. That's 757-622-9256. Now, here is the host for Afternoon Tea, Keith Freeman.
Hey, welcome to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman, chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and I am joined by Waverly Woods.
I am the chairwoman of the Virginia Beach chapter of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and I love that song.
That's an
That is
awesome
so
song.
I'm in here singing before we come on air. I am singing the song and rocking it out. It is awesome. I love it.
By the way, that's Madison Rising, so y'all can check them out. Look them up on the web. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a whole lot of stuff to cover today. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, there's some stuff going down in Suffolk.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man.
We want to cover immigration, this immigration bill, the Cavalier Hotel deal in Virginia Beach, NSA spying. We got a few updates on the IRS. Maybe even get out a few campaign updates. So let's get right into this. I think Lorraine is calling us from Suffolk.
Yes, she's our communications chair from Suffolk, Virginia, and she is also a branch of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. We actually have a Hampton Roads Tea Party chapter out in Suffolk, and Lorraine is a member.
So, all right, Lorraine,
Bring
what's
us
up?
Lorraine. What's up?
Hi there.
Hey, talk to us, baby. What's happening down in Suffolk?
Well, apparently our city council, we're going to be having a public hearing July 17th. They want to issue $57 million worth of new debt in bonds to pay for the capital improvements plan that they approved back in January. I haven't been able to find out if that means that they didn't have the money when they approved all these buildings, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Right. Didn't they already have an issue earlier this year where they couldn't fund the schools and the teachers were walking out? It was like a big scene out there.
Oh, yes. They already had that issue. In fact, they raised our property taxes on our real estate by 6 cents more than what it was. And they also increased our water bill by 10% in order to pay for utilities. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things they're trying to pay for with this new debt that they want to that they want to take on, too.
Right. So how will your taxes be raised to cover that? That would be a good question.
Yeah, well, the new debt is supposed to be from bonds. And I actually spoke to someone from the budget office this morning, and they straight up compare this to taking out a mortgage on a house. I am not even kidding you.
Oh, that's classic. That's classic.
Well, the taxes they raised, that certainly can't be spent on these things right here. That had to cover the city manager's increase in pay, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, the city manager got a 14% increase in pay, along with 100%. Along with 100% coverage of her health care and retirement and a big cushy car allowance.
Isn't that something? So she's going to get all of these cushy benefits out in Suffolk. Meanwhile, people are losing their jobs, being laid off constantly from work, and getting their taxes increased, while she gets a 14% pay increase. And no one out there says that that's a problem, or is it just you?
Well, we all know the entire city has proclaimed this. The only people who seem to like this is the city manager and city council.
I bet
The entire
they do.
city
I'd
is
like it
broken up
too if they
against
were
us.
giving me a 14%
Yeah,
raise. I'd
right.
be ecstatic.
Did
She's-
city council?
She's not the only one that got raised.
Yeah,
she's not the only one that
I was
got
going to
raised.
say, did city council get a raise as well?
No, city council doesn't get a raise. They
Okay.
make $15,000 a year, and the mayor makes $18,000 a year. They haven't given themselves a raise. That way, when people yell about how they get paid too much, they can say, no, we don't.
Yeah, they don't. Okay, good.
I hate
Yeah.
to be cynical, but I think they're getting their money somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
There's just
No,
saying.
they all have day jobs. Our mayor is actually a realtor.
Really?
So-
Does he know the mayor of Virginia Beach? I wonder if they're all doing things through Town Bank. Or they're just
Yeah, she is. She's part of Town Bank.
Oh, and we have a
Well,
winner.
Look, isn't a large portion of this capital improvement supposed to be for the replacement of City Hall and a 911 center?
Yes.
And who's
They
that going
have
to be? Tell us again who that's going to be built by.
Armada Hoffler.
No.
Shut
kidding.
the front door. Armada Hoffler has their hands into dealings in Suffolk as well. Shocking. They're so precious.
I'll tell you what, those guys are something else. They are very good
They
businessmen.
got their hands in everybody's till. They certainly have that down pat.
I'll tell you, those guys are good businessmen. If they can convince a lot of city governments to use them in various projects, then I say more power to them. I think they got a gold watch, look very closely.
Yeah, they're
hypnotize these guys.
hypnotizing everybody.
I mean, how in the
What
world
is-
can this happen?
How
The
do you
same
get
short
in?
list of people.
Exactly. I want to know how you get in on these private-public partnerships because my business doesn't get the kickback.
Well, one of the things that the Suffolk HRTP put out during the budget battle, we were the only ones that went to meet with the budget director to find out more about how our budget works and what we could cut our spending on. One of the things we said we needed to cut spending on was these buildings and all the frills and whatnot that get added to it and the high-priced people that they hire to build these things.
Right. And the budget
And,
always exceeds the budget. There's no cap on the budget.
Yeah.
They somehow always need more money than what they thought originally.
Yeah, Armada Hoffler's good at that. They're good at
definitely.
low bid to get in.
I
and
tell
then
you
the
what,
high bid to get out.
I want to move into the animal shelter that they've got in Virginia Beach because they sure did how many hundreds of millions of dollars
well,
they
no,
did there?
it was in hundreds. It was 13.6 million.
Okay, yeah.
But think about it. I mean, that's a luxury hotel for a dog.
That's pretty hot, man. It's pretty hot.
Wow.
I tell you what, my house doesn't cost $13 million.
No, mine
Just
didn't
saying,
either.
just
Both of ours
saying.
together didn't.
Yeah, both of ours together did. Mine, yours, and Lorraine's didn't. Just saying. And Paula in the other room, we throw you in as a garage, and we still ain't covering it.
Yeah. Well, Armada Hoffler didn't build it. I think reasonable people built that one.
Yeah, what, your house or their?
All of them.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, look, Lorraine, we appreciate that update. We're going to move along to
Yeah,
some
but now remind
federal
us.
issues.
Yeah, the public hearing is July 17th at
July
City Council.
17th.
Yeah,
And, I just want to know if
Is
they...
that going to be at City Hall?
is that? Yeah, I was going to say at City
Yes,
Hall.
it's going to be at City Hall.
Okay, perfect. All right, so, folks, if you want to know more about what's going on in Suffolk, definitely be at the City Hall on July 17th. And also, if you want to get some more information from Lorraine and our Suffolk chapter, please check out our website at HRT.com, HRTparty.com, that is, sorry. And Lorraine can give you an email and get you on their email list. You can find out what's going on in Suffolk. It's very important that you do. If you live in Suffolk, you're going to want to know about this. Thank you, Lorraine, for calling in.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, well, since we're talking about corrupt local government, I mean local government.
No, not corrupt. Not corrupt. Not the government corrupts. Say it
Yeah.
isn't so.
Look, since we're talking about that, let's touch base on this Cavalier Hotel deal down at
Oy
the beach.
vey, oy vey.
They're having a meeting Tuesday.
Public hearing, City Council, Chamber. Well, I guess it's the public office of City Council. Everyone gets to go in Virginia Beach and
But
say
I
what you
doubt
got
very
to
many
say.
people will go.
I
Not that
hope
I'm
they do.
cynical or anything, just realistic.
I think if you're in an earshot and you're not at City Council on this coming Tuesday night, the 25th, your tax dollars will be handed over to Bruce Thompson, and he hasn't even signed the ink on the deal, but the city's already going to give him money for it.
Well, I'm looking at several articles from the Virginia Pilot, and not one of them mentions up front that Bruce Thompson said we're going to need some public money, some public input. So I think we've been misled all along, and I know that shocks the public. It shocked me that we've been misled.
Right, that City Council of Virginia Beach would mislead people? Shocking. No, say it
And that
isn't
it's
so.
in conjunction with Bruce Thompson.
Right, Bruce
again.
Thompson, again. The
So-
private-public partnership king of Virginia Beach?
My prediction is it doesn't matter how many people show up in opposition to this at City Council. I think it's going to pass no matter what we say or what we do. The only thing that I believe we can hope for on this is to get some sort of guarantee that this $18 million is the cap. That's it. The well is dry after $18 million, Bruce. You're going to have to dip into your own pocket for a change.
Well, I understand there's another organization in the background waiting to see if they're going to vote on this Bruce Thompson deal or not that could do this project and not use public funds. That's what I would be interesting to hear, and I hope we could get some of those folks out there so they can give their proposal to City Council on Tuesday night as well. I think that would be very appropriate to hear from them.
Well, I think Bruce Thompson would be extremely angry to see that you're talking about taking.
Poor baby.
I know. I mean, break out the crying towels.
Here's the
Bruce
Crimea
Thompson
River.
will have to spend $18 million on one of his own projects.
Oh, stop it. Poor baby.
Well, look, he is not a bad businessman. I'm not sure that I would go and solicit City Council to give me these millions of dollars for a construction project. On the other hand, would I turn it down if they were offering it to me? So I'm not sure which came first here, the chicken or the egg. I'm not sure who's asking who for what.
Well, I believe that there are some pretty savvy business folks out there that would turn down the money only because the minute you involve the government in anything you're doing, they get to say what is going on with your project. Now, if you happen to be buddy-buddy friends with them, like Bruce Thompson and Will Sessoms are, then you've got a good shot at not having too much interference. But the rest of you schlubs out there that involve the government, suck it up, Cinderella. They are definitely going to be involved in making some rules.
Well, I think both of those guys are pretty savvy businessmen, as you put it.
Well, they're not stupid at all, that's for sure.
No. I mean, they're very successful at what they do. I just am hard-pressed to be sold on the idea that my money is necessary for Bruce Thompson to make a profit.
Or
he never said
anyone.
anything about
Right.
this money up front.
Any projects like that. I understand Bruce Thompson's trying to do some jobs here in Norfolk as well.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's approved. The City Council,
There you
that
go.
convention hotel center, that's a done
There
deal.
you go.
Voted on, signed, sealed, delivered.
There you go.
You know, Bruce Thompson's bank account is better looking every day.
It does while the rest of ours dwindles.
Yeah, where? I need his
Right.
advice.
I just want to know where, when they do all of these things, where is the actual, where do you see the improvement to the neighborhoods? Where, with all of these private-public partnerships, do the people get paid back? Where do you see that our inner-city community is doing better? Where is our schools doing better, especially in Norfolk?
Well, drive down Laskin Road, that $25 million project that blossomed into a $48 million project.
Right.
That's why I want to see it capped. We have to have a cap on this $18 million. It's going to pass.
I don't
hate
bel-
to be cynical, but it's going to pass.
I hear you. I just have a big issue with it all the way around. I just don't think that's what we were here to do. I don't think that's how our government was supposed to be run.
No, it's not. Obviously not. But the voters spoke, and the guys are put back in power that
There you
condone
go.
these deals. Well, look, we're coming up on a break. After we come back, we're going to be talking about the immigration bill. That's the hot topic. We're going to jump right on the NSA spying bandwagon, and we'll give you some updates on the IRS.
So check us out on Facebook at Hampton Roads Tea Party, and you can check us out online at hrteaparty.com, and we'll be...
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRM.
Hey, welcome back to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman, chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I am joined by
Waverly Woods, the Virginia Beach chapter chairwoman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. And just know, folks, you can find us at hrteaparty.com. You can find us on our Facebook page, Hampton Roads Tea Party. And look, we're always looking for a great sponsor to help us stay on the radio and further the knowledge that we give our voting citizens out there and the taxpayers that have to pay so much for this intrusion of government that we're getting ready to lead into now. So if you're considering being a sponsor, please see us at hrteaparty.com.
All right, look, we're going to look into this NSA spying situation. We've heard so much about this junk. I mean, it's amazing. First, they tell us we're not using drones domestically, and then lo and behold, the FBI director comes out and confirms limited drone use in the U.S.
Limited,
Limited,
foot.
right. First, it's we're not
That's
doing
just
it.
the ones you've seen. The ones you can't see, they're not acknowledging.
It just seems like I recall somebody offering $1 million reward last year for anyone who shoots down a domestically used drone. Boy, I'd like to win that one.
I need a gun.
Yeah.
I need a gun. I don't have one yet, but I'm going to Bad Brass Women, and I'm going to learn how to shoot a gun. I'm going to get a gun, and I'm going to shoot some of these drones and find out who that $1 million person is, because I'm going to hand it to them.
We'll have to Google that, but I'll tell you what, I might even do that one for free.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so first of all, we know this. We know that they are spying on us with drones. In fact, if you had been listening over the last 2 weeks, Waverly and I had been kind of clowning around about a drone outside of our window.
No kidding. We shut the curtains today. Totally, dude. The curtains are shut. We don't want them to see in.
Curtains are shut, so they can't spy on us. So
exactly. God forbid, you can't even go to the bathroom by yourself now.
And we're just kidding about this, and then the FBI director says, "Yep, spying on them, got them." But not only that. Here's the thing. First of all, we actually read this to you guys last week as well, and it's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. Well, that hasn't been happening. This has been a blanket indictment of the entire public.
Yep.
We can look at anything and everything, your phone records and whatever.
Your emails. And Google is so upset. I heard Google's like really furious with the federal government that it's killed their business. It's really affected Google's industry because of the intrusion into the Google accounts.
Well, it should.
Absolutely.
They were complicit. They can't say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so offended by this intrusion." They were complicit. They cooperated with the government. The government said, "Hey, we want to look at this," and said, "Oh yeah, well,
okay,
we do too. Let's all look at it together."
Yeah, it's so rude. It's so wrong.
Well, look, the Guardian put out something, and it's. I know you guys will be shocked at this one, too. More NSA documents reveal Obama lies about domestic spending. I know Saint Obama does not lie.
I know.
So here's what they're saying.
His halo's just slightly tilted.
It's slightly tilted, slightly tarnished.
It's slightly tilted.
Anyhow, the Guardian published 2 documents, and it refutes the claims made by the Obama administration, saying that the surveillance effort haven't had any impact on U.S. citizens, and if you're not involved in a terror activity, you don't have anything to worry about. Well, that's not true, because they have been keeping the data. They said they weren't keeping the data, but they have been keeping the data.
They store it. The whistleblower, it brought all that to life.
They have 2 facilities, one in Utah. I think the other one might be in Pennsylvania or somewhere. But in any case, they built 2 multi-billion-dollar facilities to store that data.
Yeah.
So if they're not keeping it, what are they keeping there?
Right. Well, it's
Bruce Thompson's millions.
Exactly, and the man caves from the EPA.
Oh, yeah,
we already went there.
The EPA.
Yeah, Debbie does
fracking.
That's it. She's back. She's in there.
Back.
They've got her stored.
So now we have NSA man caves.
There you go.
So they're retaining and using this inadvertently acquired domestic communications. Inadvertently acquired domestic communications. Really?
Do you have rubber boots? Because it's really deep.
Oh, hip boots. You better get some waders.
I know, right?
I'm just saying, this
That's
guy's
just so erroneous. It's just ridiculous.
That is just so over the top.
Yeah, it's out there.
And they're preserving the foreign intelligence information contained within attorney-client privilege. So if you think your communications between your attorney, should you have a legal issue, is privileged, you are wrong about that one too.
Oh my gosh, it is
Yeah.
just.
There's nothing that's not being violated here.
Absolutely. I mean, the Fourth Amendment. What?
Well, I feel violated anyway.
I know. And it's not from the aliens from outer space. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, they don't hold a candle to these
No,
guys.
this is it. You have not been abducted.
I think they're holding classes. The aliens are taking lessons from the Obama administration
Exactly.
on how to thoroughly probe the issue.
I love it. Have you been probed today?
Oh, I'm sure I have and don't even know it.
Oh, God. Whew.
They are accessing the content of communications gathered from U.S.-based machines or phone numbers in order to establish targets. Well, if they're gathering up these millions upon millions of accounts, we're all targets.
Yep.
Isn't that what this is really saying? We're all targets.
And they leave it like that so that they can interpret who they want to probe, who they want to investigate their records. So it could be me and you, because they've already tried to establish that the Tea Party is a bunch of terrorists.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit up on that topic here in the next segment with the IRS update. But here's the shocker. Again, Congress is surprised by drone use on U.S. soil.
Please.
I mean it.
Are they that obtuse? I mean, why is it? We know this stuff, and they all said we were running around with tinfoil hats on, and these guys are like shocked. They are so obtuse and clueless. It's just not. You can't have that kind of a college education and be that stupid at the same time. I just don't. It's like they're idiot savants.
No, I wouldn't even give them that. They're just idiots.
They're just idiots.
No,
They're
wait
not
a
savants.
minute. I take that back. We're the idiots. We keep electing these
them.
guys.
Gosh, I know.
Well, look, here's how much they didn't know.
I voted for RK.
Yeah. Well,
Just saying.
unfortunately, he's not with the NSA.
No, he's not.
But here's how much they didn't know. They authorized $32 million for the purchase and use of drones.
Here we go.
Let me see. I don't know what I'm spending this on. It says drones, but I can't read because I'm illiterate.
They found out about it the same time the president did. They were watching CNN.
Well, they had to pass the bill to know what was in the
Hey,
bill.
thank you. Here we go. Once again, they're so precious.
Oh,
They are so precious.
I mean, here they are funding these illegal activities that violate the Constitution. It's not even a gray area. They have violated our constitutional rights, and then they claim they don't know, but yet they passed bills funding these very operations.
And the oath they took to uphold the Constitution, every one of them took the oath. And as far as I know, most of them took it on the Bible. I mean, come on.
Well, look, a friend of mine pointed something out to me. I'm going to give him credit here, Alan Ramos. He was saying they discussed something in his class. He's taking some college courses, and they were discussing these things in his class. And he pointed out a New York Times article that said the extent with which the Silicon Valley companies are in bed with the NSA.
Unbelievable.
Somebody's getting probed.
Don't go to Silicon Valley, ladies. I'm just saying. If you need to get a new boob job, don't do it there.
Let me tell you, you talk about sexual harassment.
Nothing
you go
good's
there.
going to come from there. That silicone's going to land in a completely different place.
Well, these guys actually fund startup companies for the purpose of acquiring cutting-edge technology. They go out and recruit these guys that are on the cutting edge and tell them ambiguous things like, oh, you can be a data administrator. And really what they want you to do is crunch numbers for them. But they don't say it in that respect. They use terms like, here we go, a job for a strategic advisor. They seek out tech companies with disruptive technologies. The job essentially requires the person to seek out companies that are doing some of the most extraordinary work in Silicon Valley. So they're going there and recruiting these young guys right out of college and say, hack for us. We got the best equipment. you're going to be paid well. Look, they paid that one guy. What was his name? Snowden.
Yes.
They paid him $200,000 a year.
Yes, he made great money, and you know what? He even talked about in his interview how he supported this administration and wanted the real change that was promised, and this is why he is now the whistleblower, because everything about it was a lie.
Well, here's one of their postings that they're looking for people. An area of focus for an intern in software engineering. And the job post, they want you to have a knowledge of OpenStack as listed as a plus. OpenStack gained importance with the NSA for integrating the infrastructures of its various different agencies. Well, that's doublespeak by saying, look, we want you to hack into these systems and earn $200,000 a year, and then you can turn and give all that stuff for millions to the Chinese, maybe.
There you go. Debbie does hacking.
Yeah, Debbie
She's
does
back.
hacking.
She's in another department. She's back.
Oh, man.
This is so egregious. I just don't. How can you get? The thing is, it's so frustrating for me. I don't understand how to reach out to the general public so that they have a better comprehension of what their freedom and liberties that are being stomped all over.
Well, look, here's the one. A job listing for a systems administrator points to the sophistication of IQT's own IT infrastructure and its internal development process for startups. The person holding the job has responsibility for the IQT lab and conduct comprehensive comparisons on different products. Now, what does that mean? You're comparing the data from Google as opposed to Facebook? I don't know. I mean, our own money is being used against us. It's being used to spy on us. I'm not safe. My lawyer, any communication with my lawyer is not safe. My IRS data is not safe.
Your medical records are not safe.
Medical records, bank accounts, everything. Well, look, we're coming up on a break, and so when we come back, we're going to get into the IRS updates and give you some campaign updates, and we're going to hit on immigration big time.
Yep. So stick around. And again, if you want to check us out at hrtparty.com and help sponsor our broadcast, and you can check us out on Facebook at Hampton Roads Tea Party. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRM.
Hey, welcome back to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman, chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm joined by
Waverly Woods, the Virginia Beach chapter chairwoman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. Welcome back, folks. Just a quick announcement. The Virginia Beach chapter of the Hampton Roads Tea Party will be having an educational seminar with VPAC. VPAC is the Virginia Public Access Project. They're going to come in and show you how to work their website. There's a litany of information that you can find on this website, but the main thing is you can follow a candidate, who's funding them, where are they getting their money, and who are they going to owe favors to if they're elected. This is a great opportunity for you to do your own research and make up your own mind without any interference of anybody. You can do this research from home and decide who you think is the best candidate of choice by just using this website. So again, that's July 2nd at the Myra Obendorf Library in Virginia Beach on Virginia Beach Boulevard right next to Princess Anne High School. If you're familiar with the area, check out our website at hrtparty.com. We've got that event listed there as well. And then, of course, follow us on Facebook because we put it there too, Hampton Roads Tea Party. If you have any questions and you want to call us in and let us hear some of your concerns, the number here to the station is 622-9256.
Well, look, that VPAP, you can make a quick little test of it. You can put Cuccinelli in VPAP, and then you can put Terry McAuliffe in VPAP.
There you go.
I think you will see that Cuccinelli raises most of his money here in the state of Virginia, and Terry McAuliffe has not even held a fundraiser in our state thus far. So he's raising all his money outside of the state, particularly in Hollywood.
And Connecticut, there's a guy in Connecticut that's he's a social media guru in Connecticut and gave Cuccinelli big money. So to me,
well, he's probably down with the NSA.
Yeah. He is just real. I mean, this just kind of tells you, wait a minute, you don't have allies within the state. They're all outside of the state, infiltrating to take the state over. If we as Virginians allow that to happen, shame on us.
Well, this is a crucial election.
Yeah, don't let them buy your vote, people. Don't let them buy your vote.
There's only 2 elections this year for governors, and one is in New Jersey and one is in Virginia. Well, it's pretty much wrapped up in New Jersey.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
knows Chris Christie's going to be reelected there. However, that frees up the Democrats and their money people to focus all their energies on Virginia. So literally, the eyes of the nation will be on Virginia for this election.
Right.
And I think we can send a real message, much as we did in 2010,
Right.
that we're not going to be part of this liberal agenda.
No.
So, all right, well, let's jump right on to this immigration stuff. I guess you all have heard this in the news. You know what's going on. They're trying to come to some sort of compromise in the Senate because apparently they didn't think that the security issues had enough teeth in them. Teeth? Well, that's a good one. I'd like to see us put dogs on the border. How about that? That'd be great.
That'll scare anybody.
You know, and an interesting thing, I think it was in 2006, they passed legislation to say we're going to build a fence on the whole border. It hasn't been done yet.
Nope.
So do we have confidence?
They probably have VDOT on top of that.
Yeah. Well, Bruce Thompson's probably getting it.
There
great.
you go. He's got to get his cut first.
Yep. Or Amada Hoffler's probably building it.
There you go. It's never going to get done. I think VDOT's the mafia anyway.
Yeah, they are. But if we don't trust them, and we can't trust them, they said they passed this legislation in 2006 to build this fence. They haven't done so. So what's new about saying I'm going to build it in 2013?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was different about this time?
I mean, get started. Where's all those shovel-ready projects?
Right. This was shovel
Here's
ready.
a shovel.
This one was shovel ready since 2006.
I have several
apparently.
in my garage. I will be glad to donate them to this administration so they can
here's
get
a novel
busy.
thought. When we capture these illegal immigrants on whatever technicalities we have, maybe they violated some law, some speeding violation or some criminal activity, but while we have them in custody, why not put their butts to work on that border?
Really? Help them build light rail, for God's sake. They want that thing built bad enough.
Well, look, I'm saying they came here for a job. They came here to work. Well,
I
let's
say
put them to work.
Get them busy.
Yeah, get them hopping.
Meals for wheels. Let's
Right.
go.
We can put Joe Arpaio in charge of the construction project. Old Sheriff Joe will get them cracking. won't
Joe
he?
will work it. He'll make them wear pink, too.
That's right.
I
You might
love
even
Joe.
upgrade their bologna sandwiches to 2 slices of bologna.
Exactly. Or give them a little extra peanut butter.
Yeah, there you go. Peanut butter and bologna.
There
Ugh.
you go.
They probably work twice as hard just not to get
I
that.
know that's right.
Well, look, there are some things I think, this is my personal observations. We have a program called the ITIN program with the IRS where they give illegal immigrants numbers to enable them to file their taxes because they want them to file their taxes. Well, knowing this, they are abusing our system. If I put down that I have some dependents, then what's going to happen is I have to provide documentation showing these dependents are really my dependents, like Social Security numbers or something like that. They don't have to do that. They just list anybody and everybody they can think of. They put down their nieces, nephews, maybe their own children.
That don't even live in the country.
Don't even live in this country.
They live in Mexico or another country, wherever they're from. They live there. They don't have Social Security numbers, and you're right, because I have a son. You have too, so you couldn't claim them on your tax returns unless you had a Social Security number for them.
Right, and I don't think I can claim them anyway because they're not
Well, they're
dependents
adults.
any longer.
No, my son isn't either, but that's not the point. When they were,
when they were.
you had to.
So they're getting this money illicitly, and they're claiming all of these dependents. They're not providing documentation, so that's the first thing. You've got to eliminate this program. It cost us $4.2 billion either in 2010 or 2011, and it's projected to cost us $20 billion in the next couple of years. $20 billion on illegal fake returns because the Obama administration will not deport these guys.
And it is just ridiculous. I mean, they're here illegally. If you open up the gates, it will be a floodgate and everything will crash. I mean, your health care will crash because you can't cover them. Your educational system will crash because you can't educate them all at one time like that. It will just floodgate.
Well, they don't need education.
system.
They know all the tricks.
Yeah, they were
I mean,
taught.
apparently they're smarter than we are.
Yeah, because we don't have any.
Well, look, something does need to be done. The immigration system as we know it is broke, and that would be saying it lightly. I mean, it is just not working, particularly for Americans. U.S. citizens, it's
Right.
really not working for.
Yes.
So if we're going to have this immigration bill, they can make some serious improvements here. For instance, penalties. They're only required to pay $2,000 in penalties. They pay $500 up front.
That's ridiculous.
And they have to have no felonies and 3 misdemeanors.
For goodness sakes, that's a traffic violation. I mean, come on. We pay more for a traffic violation than you're asking these illegal immigrants to do it. And by the way, I don't get in trouble with the law. I don't have 3 misdemeanors.
Well, I think they could change the 3 misdemeanors. I mean, they could be something small. I've no doubt that there are some things that we should overlook. But if they're DUIs, some DUIs are misdemeanors.
I think every one of them. If you got a DUI, dude, you got a DUI.
Well, if you get a DUI, you're out. That's
Done.
as good as a felony to me.
Bicycle.
So
Bipolar.
that should be a disqualification.
Right.
They
Done.
need only have a job, no felonies, no more than 3 misdemeanors, pay a $500 penalty, and pay their back taxes. Well, let's bump that penalty up. Say $1,500.
I mean, $500 penalty. Boy, some of these guys, they can earn that in a week.
Well,
Please. That's not a penalty.
The next phase after 6 years is they pay another $500. They have to have a good, clean criminal record. Is that asking too much? And continuous
No.
work history. Why not bump that penalty up to, say, $1,500? And the next step is after 4 more years they have to have continuous work history. They still have to have a clean record. Now they pay a $1,000 fine according to this bill. Why not bump that up to $2,000? So instead of paying a
Simple.
total of $2,000, why not make it $5,000?
Right.
Well,
at least. I mean,
yeah.
Here's the thing. If you went into any other country, let's just stop the bleeding heart thing of America, but you go into any other country, seriously, you go to jail or die.
Yeah.
That's it. You go to jail or die. These people are paying a $2,000 fine. It's a joke. No wonder everybody wants to come here.
You pay the $2,000 to keep from them using battery cables on you. That's what you pay.
Exactly. Exactly. God knows what else probes they might use, too.
Well, they're probably
Just
in
saying.
cahoots with the NSA.
There you go. Just saying. I just think it's really ridiculous. I mean,
Well, some other improvements I'm thinking, they need to make stiffer penalties for the employers. Obviously, if the employers are not providing jobs, these guys ain't coming here. If there are no jobs, they're not coming here unless they want to work on a fence or a wall.
exactly.
They have to limit the number of visas. For about the first 18 months of this, there are no limits to family member visas.
No family member visas. I'm not buying that.
Well,
I'm
look,
not buying that.
here's a term that builders use. If I create some situation where I can't build a house, then that's called a self-imposed hardship. Say I buy a 110-foot wide lot and it's got to have 60 feet of road frontage, and I build on one side of the lot for 60 feet of road frontage, but I'm only left with 50 feet, so I don't meet the present zoning. If I go to apply for some sort of waiver, they're going to say, no, you don't get it. You have to have 60 feet, not 50 feet. And that's called a self-imposed hardship. I created the situation of a non-conforming lot.
Right.
So I'm saying, why give these guys any family member visas? It's a self-imposed hardship. They chose to come here.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can come here and bring your entire clan with you.
Right.
Clan, is that a bad word?
No, you're not speaking of that clan. You're talking about the tribe, the whole family, the
The whole tribe? What?
Right.
Did I hear that right? Did you just say that?
Oh gosh, now we're racist. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
Jeez,
but
Lord.
hey, that's what
God
the
forgive
Tea
me.
Party is anyway.
That's
Just
right.
ask any liberal.
I know. We're hypersensitive. You know, you can't say anything correctly.
If I thought it would give them heart attacks, I'd use those terms often or more often.
Get out of here having a heart
Yeah,
attack.
we could thin out the liberal
Right,
population.
but they're going to
quickly.
bring the entire their entire family. I mean, cousins from I don't know, wherever they're from. They're going to bring them, and they're all going to get visas because of this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we can also tighten up the security of the border, not by federal means, but by letting the 4 governors of the border states decide are they secure or not. Well, look, we're coming up on a break, and we're going to get back to this immigration issue, and then we're going to give you an IRS update and some campaign updates. So when we come back, we'll touch base on those issues.
All right, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Afternoon Tea on 1110 WYRM.
All right, welcome back to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party. I'm Keith Freeman, chairman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party, and I am joined by
Waverly Woods, the Virginia Beach chapter chairwoman of the Hampton Roads Tea Party. Don't forget our meeting on July 2nd at the Central Library. If you want to call in with some questions, 622-9256, hrtparty.com.
Well, look, we're going to wrap up this immigration thing because we have somebody on the phone that I think is bringing up a very important issue. It wasn't on the schedule today, but I think it is a good issue to talk about. It was one I considered. So we're going to wrap up the immigration thing. When we left, we were talking about securing the border. Well, the federal government has already shown they can't do anything right, I don't think. So I'm of the opinion that the governors that border Mexico should have the authority to say whether the border is secure or not. And it should be unanimous. If all four of these governors say our border is relatively secure or secure,
I think they should be allowed.
Relative term.
Yes, it's their state. States are sovereign. I think the governors of those states should have a say in how to secure their borders, and I think they should be able to sign off on whether or not it's done.
Well, another improvement I think that could be made to this immigration bill is this could be tied to the unemployment rate. I mean, if we have a 10% unemployment rate, why are we bringing workers into the country or allowing them to stay? Send their butts home. I guarantee the unemployment rate would go down.
Exactly. We need to get our people back to work.
All right, so those are just some improvements. They got to end the ITIN program. They got to have stiffer penalties for the illegals. They got to have stiffer penalties for employers. No family members. None. Zero. Zilch. Self-imposed hardship there. Sorry. Secure the borders. The governors sign off on it, and this should be tied to the unemployment rate. And those are just, right off the top of my head.
Whoever your federal representatives are, you need to let them know that this Gang of Eight bill is squashed. Do not let them vote positive on this. Let them vote a no, because this all is in there. It's all erroneous, and you should vote it down.
Well, look, real quick, we're going to touch base on this IRS stuff because, they've been targeting Tea Party groups. They've been targeting conservative donors. But there are several bills in Congress right now, and House specifically. There's H.R. 2045, which is Halt the IRS Act. I just like the sound of that one, period.
It just sounds great.
But really what it means is it's a 180-day delay on any new audits. And then there's H.R. 2125, Prevent Implementation and Enforcement of Obamacare. Another one that is the same thing is H.R. 1990, Keep IRS Off Your Health Care. And then there's one I brought up a couple weeks ago, H.R. 2009, which is Keep IRS Off Your Health Care. Those three kind of go hand in hand. They're probably going to have to consolidate those bills.
Put them in there.
Yeah. And then we have H.R. 1993, which is Prohibit the IRS from hiring new people for the enforcement of Obamacare.
Exactly.
I'm for that one for sure.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. You got people laid off all over the country. They're getting $70 million in bonuses. And, people
for breaking the law.
For breaking the law.
Man.
Just saying.
All right. And then we got H.R. 2025, which is, believe it or not, all these people that did these things, there's no penalties. In fact, Lois Lerner is on paid leave.
There you go.
So I'd like to unpay her and put her on leave. But H.R. 2025 is terminate employees of IRS that discriminate against any taxpayer. I'm all for that one.
Yep.
So those are the House bills, and you can get those on govtrack.us. You can go in there and research it by topic, by bill number, by anything. You can find related bills, govtrack.us. That's a great website to find out pending legislation and everything. I know you guys are going to run right out there and do this.
Yeah, get on your laptops.
All right, so look, we got Robert Dean on the phone. He wants to talk about the farm bill.
Come on, Robert.
Let's grow some discontent here,
What's
Robert.
up? What's up, Big D?
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Well, I wanted to run this by you real quick, and I know you're just about out of time, but our illustrious congressman from Chesapeake, Randy Forbes, voted for the farm bill, while Scott Ridgell, representing the 2nd Congressional District, voted against it.
God bless Scott Ridgell.
Yeah, good job, Scott Ridgell. You get a kudos today.
Yeah, and it was 195 yeas and 234 nays on it, but the Speaker of the House voted for it.
Well, he's not really GOP,
Was he?
is he?
Seriously, was Boehner crying when he did it? I mean, can you?
I don't know, but I know when they voted it down yesterday, there had to be a gnashing of teeth and a wailing from the folks out there on food stamps that have been on food stamps for generations. And and the House version of this bill is 629 pages long, and it's going to cost us, $9.4 billion. And
That's over 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
$1 trillion over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But the thing, that's what's wrong with the Congress on these bills. Unlike Virginia, you can only have one item in a bill. The 79.2% of this farm bill,
Food stamps.
food stamps.
Right. And let me just say, if I can just interject for a second, my friends, if you want true freedom, it is to be dependent on no one but your creator. That is it. The minute you allow the government to control you with your dependency, you weaken your own freedom and liberty. True freedom only comes from self-reliance and depending on the man that created you. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, this thing is, and any subsidies to the farmers in this nation is just corporate welfare, because there are multi-million and multi-billion-dollar corporations that are receiving these subsidies. And it's just patently wrong. It flies in the face of true capitalism, free enterprise. And I just wanted to run this by you all. And also, speaking of subsidies and corporate welfare, there's a big vote coming up, big public hearing next Tuesday in the Virginia Beach City Council chambers on the $18 million.
Yes, on the Cavalier Hotel. We did talk about that earlier. We announced where it was going to be. We talked about Tuesday night. Be there before 6 o'clock if you want to speak, and definitely told people, bring your signs, bring your posters. You don't have to speak, but you can certainly show your opposition to it all. So we definitely mentioned that earlier in the show.
Hey, Robert, I thought you were an afternoon tea groupie. You didn't listen to the first part of our show?
Yeah, what's up?
As we beat up Bruce Thompson on this $18 million
I mean
deal.
to tell you, he slimmed down. We took some weight off of him.
There's one other thing. On Tuesday, July 2nd, is the night when council votes on that $18 million. And I think there's a conflict because the Hampton Roads or the Virginia Beach Tea Party has scheduled a meeting for that same night.
Yeah, that's our monthly meeting. It sure is.
But I thought your monthly meetings were on Wednesdays.
No, because the library has scheduling issues all the time. If you're not first in line, you get what's left over. So we got to pick a Tuesday and not a Wednesday.
Yeah, our name wasn't Bruce Thompson, so we
That's
didn't get to
right.
pick and
We
choose
got
here.
sloppy seconds.
And we actually had to pay. So.
Thank you all very much for your time. It's a victory for the American taxpayers, the defeat of this bill, but I'm sure it's going to come back with Bonner or Bonehead Bonner and company.
It's banger.
They're going to come up with something.
Yeah, I'm sure he's for it because it contains things to do with grains, which obviously go towards the production of liquor.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly
He's
right.
been tanning too long. Don't worry. He's just not at Copacabana.
You ever notice what
Needs
that
to
guy
be
looks
Copa-
like when at the State of the Union? I mean, the look on his face is like, somebody give me a drink.
Oh, yeah, so you're thinking he's
Oh,
constipated.
my God.
Listen, thank you all very much for your
You
time.
bet. All right, Big D.
All right, Robert, we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right,
All right.
well, look, Robert, in case you guys out there in the public didn't know who he is or don't know who he is the chairman of the Libertarian Party locally here, and he is a wonk. That dude has numbers and info.
I'm telling
and,
you, he's
I mean,
forgotten more than I ever learned.
Well, I won't say that.
I will. I totally.
I wouldn't put you down like that.
No, no, I'll do it myself. I tell you, I have felt like I've always been in government. I mean, my government teacher would be thrilled with me to know how much I've learned now.
Well, look, real quick, we're going to give you, we can't do campaign updates, we're out of time. But look, if you want to know what's going on, we got JacksonForLG.com, Cuccinelli.com, MarkObenshane.com. And you've been listening to Afternoon Tea with the Hampton Roads Tea Party.
So
Keith
check
Freeman.
us out. Yeah. And Waverly Woods, the Virginia Beach chapter chair. Check us out on Hampton Roads Tea Party on the Facebook and HRTparty.com. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next Friday.